I'm not actually sure who made this. Now that I'm looking at it, it's just called the developer is just called Taro on Steam. They don't have a website.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing about them. I was trying to find assets to make the going live thumbnail for today, and it was like, I can find nothing. I had to get very creative.
So you make a YouTube video to say like you're going live?
Oh no, I don't make a video. Just like I make an image to put on Twitter and stuff like that.
Ah, that's what it is. Okay. Because yeah, I used to do that, and then a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't. It like YouTube doesn't like it when you're
Yeah.
advertising like off-site," and so I stopped. And like I think somebody had been talking about how like I think people were getting banned or something, so I just haven't gotten back.
Yeah, there was something about the bans. I'm not sure what that was about, because I never really saw anything about bans per se. I think maybe there was a bit of maybe someone got banned and that was like, oh, it must be because of this, rather than actually knowing it was because of that, you know. But
yeah, that's possible.
There was definitely a bit of. Let me see if I can pop that through there. Yes, I can. Okay, you're coming for me. Fine. But there was definitely some advice that effectively boiled down to, if you're sending traffic off-site, it counts against your channel.
Yeah.
When you think about the way that the algorithm works, you know, you get basically like a video gets a little bit of a bonus in the way the algorithm considers it if someone watches your video and then stays on YouTube.
It's not even like a little bit.
Oh, it's a big
so
one,
so I've talked to I've talked to multiple people that, like, you know, advisors and YouTube managers, and they've like straight up told me, like, oops, that's the wrong thing. If your video like convinces people to stick around and like watch on YouTube for, oops, I did it again.
Really?
Convinces people, convinces people to stick around on YouTube for like, you know, 3 hours. It actually just adds that 3 hours to your watch time, not for like advertising or money purposes, but for like video rankings.
Yeah.
With like diminishing returns.
It's basically a massive pyramid scheme. That's effectively what it is. But yeah, so in the same way that if your video, someone moves on from your video to another video on YouTube, it's why Let's Plays kind of rocketed the way they did, because it's bingeable content. Someone watches episode 1, they tend to watch episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, so on and so forth. And oh, I'm gonna die because I was trying to grab that wriststone. Yeah, scallywags. But yeah, and so on and so forth. So they binge it up, and so the first video in that binge series gets a lot more weight when it comes to being suggested to other viewers, because YouTube's like, well, you know, people who watch this tend to watch more. That is good. We want to encourage it. By the same token, if your video set, the consequence of that is people click away from YouTube, that, again, it doesn't impact your earnings, except in the kind of secondary sense that YouTube's like, people watch this video, don't stay on YouTube. We don't like that, so we're going to suggest this video less, in hopes that people don't leave YouTube for other things. Yoink, ouch.
This parasite or village up here is just like a carbon copy of the other one to some degree. Right. I think the layout is different, but it's still got all of the same stuff, including the boss. I'm gonna see if I can kill him.
Okay.
It should be easy enough, and then I can get you the accessory that I'm rocking.
Nice.
I'm gonna quick check to see if I can stack the accessory, because there's, you know, some amount of like, but what if I had 2?
Yeah, no, understandable.
1 HP per second that'd be pretty good. I know there's mutations that get you that later. Boy, it is dark in here.
This is, as much as it sounds like a funny trait to say, yeah, you can eat fast. as a human, it's actually super useful. Because humans can basically battle feast. Like, oh, I'm losing a lot of health. Hang on a second. Let me just devour this massive steak. Ah, we're good. Carry on. As an elf, it's like, yeah, no. I'm not going to be eating in the middle of combat.
I always thought I always love the Skyrim memes where it's just like pause eats 50 billion cheese wheels. It's like, yeah, I'm down with that.
That is Skyrim though, through and through.
Oh yeah. I always liked that in Fable specifically. I don't remember if it would. I think it did pause the game, or there was something that you could do. But in Fable, if you ate too much, your character would like actually get fat.
Yeah, I love that about.
And
Fable.
I thought that was really amusing, especially because I would do a thing where I get like a really high combo multiplier and then just start feasting on carrots, which I think gave like dexterity EXP or whatever. So I just go into a cave, thin as a rail, exit the cave, fat as a blob, but somehow extremely dexterous. And it's like, this doesn't make sense, but I like it.
It just works. Oh, yeah. I really dislike you guys because that sword hits like a truck full of smaller trucks. Oof, okay.
Do you mess with exploits much when you play video games? Or no, not really?
Typically not, really. I usually play games pretty vanilla, all things considered. I'm usually just focused on learning the game.
I don't go out of my way for them, but if I find one, I will try and use and abuse it if I can.
Let me let myself in here so I can loot this storeroom. I'm just down in the mines, grabbing torches, annoying the locals. Oh wow, my inventory is full though. Oof. My inventory is full. Some more feasts. Cool.
I remember why I thought this game was hard. I got surrounded for like 2 seconds and it's like, oh yeah, they're tearing me to bits.
Yeah. It can go from, this is super easy, to, oh my god, my face, very, very quickly. I am making the most out of that accessory toolbox thing I've got that lets me build farther away. And I'm just building torches on the other side of walls everywhere. It's like, yep, no, I don't need to worry about this. I just want to see what's over there. Without having to go there yet.
Come here, you horror mutant. I need to harvest you for resources. Into the field. This is not a convenient place to fight you. Father.
I think... Okay, I've got a lot of
I'll
ancient
admit, fighting
fossils
this guy solo, I think, is actually a lot easier.
Yeah?
Or maybe not easier.
More straightforward, perhaps.
Yeah, because all of his focus is directly on me. And so I know exactly where he's going to be attacking all the time.
Yeah, whereas when we were fighting as a team, it was always a little bit like, hey, is he going to go for me? Or is he going to go for Wander?
Yeah. I like games with really defined like aggro mechanics, where you even maybe have like an aggro line where it's just like, yep, this enemy is going to be attacking this guy, so you know who to actually have to manage, as opposed to the enemy just turning around and like biffing the healer in the face. It's like, no, that's not fun.
Can't store that bear claw. Have I got anything I can throw away? Not really. Oh, I can eat the jerky. Cool. Okay. Right, I've got an inventory full of stuff that I don't want to discard. One thing I would love, though, is for these bloody heat-seeking spores to leave me alone.
Okay. Well, I killed him a second time around, and I did not get the symbiotic worm. Instead, I got a thing that actually makes it so my equipment does not degrade nearly as fast.
Nice.
Yep. So I will not be sharing that.
It's fine. The world is functionally infinite. If I want to go out and crush parasite,
I
I can easily just wander around and find them.
I am a terrible loot hound when I'm playing games, where like I will just kind of absorb the best stuff, and I think not even realize it. After the fact,
yeah, it's
somebody will
okay.
be
I've
like,
noticed. It's not a problem. I've played with plenty of people like that. I've been that person plenty of times. And it's like, oh, but I'm giving you stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you're giving me the hand-me-downs that you don't want, sort of thing.
I do that a little bit. I'll be like, but this item fits my build better, and they're like, yeah, but I have the garbage gear, and I'm like, But 2020 was supposed to be my my year that I'd go out and like start hiking more and doing like a bunch of other more
oh yeah,
kind of broadening my horizons.
I take it from you saying it was going to be that year that that kind of fell by the wayside with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I decided in the wake of that, seeing as that ain't gonna happen, this would be the year that I work on some of my like more obnoxious personality faults. I think I've just found another mutant town.
Have you gotten any of like the notes that tell you about the towns yet?
Yes, I've got several.
They're pretty cool. I actually thought that was a really cool mechanic. I had a lot of appreciation for that. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to like here. I was actually a little worried going into this. So I was like, I'm not sure how far they've come in 2 years. And like I'm looking forward to trying this with Aavak, but like do you ever have that where you show somebody like a movie that you like or like a YouTube video and you're like, are they gonna like it as much as I like it?
Yeah, no, I think who is it? Sungwon. He does a lot of YouTube skits. He basically did a YouTube skit that was that. You know, when you're like showing someone the awesome anime and you forgot how cringe it was at the beginning. You're like, oh, it gets better. You just gotta get through this part. It's so good. And I always have that worry. Always have that worry. Like perpetually, whenever I'm suggesting a game, it's like, yeah, is this gonna be as good as I know it will be that it is now that I've gone through it at the beginning for that person? Or are they gonna be like, why am I wasting my time on this?
I figured I'd be at least somewhat safe because it's like, well, it looks like RimWorld, and I know you were like firmly in there, so
yeah, yeah, you can't go too far wrong when something has got a strong RimWorld aesthetic. Now, I managed to mine a lot of coal, specifically to get the gene mod fossil from coal.
Ooh.
I'm hopeful. Very hopeful that this is going to facilitate me getting some of the ion skin. Because that is by far, in my opinion, the best. Basically an energy shield.
Hey, I got another one of those fast healing accessories, so I'll come back and give it to you.
Does it stack?
I actually just don't need it.
Oh, you just out healing everything now?
Pretty much. It's one of those where it's like 1 HP a second would be nice, but grand scheme of things.
Right. Now,
I just 1 every 2 seconds is good enough, especially because we're going to get a number of perks that give us the same thing. Let's see, what can I get rid of? Bullets? I will get rid of bullets. That's a weird feeling.
Well, if you're not... Later on, once we get down to level 5, we will be making our own. So it's not
That's kind of what I was
issue.
thinking. It's like, I'll probably be okay. Let's see.
There we go. Fantastic. I've now got ion skin and fast charging. So I have a 30 ion skin max, and it charges a little bit faster. So I've got like a
so
little
ion skin
shield
is
at the
like a
top.
shield.
Yeah, it's like
That's
it's
what it is.
basically it's an energy shield, and it depletes as you take damage, and then recharges when you stop taking damage.
Okay.
It is by far one of the better ones that I've seen so far out of the gene mod perks.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a cool and or useful thing. And then it's like, ion skin, oh, it's just shielding.
Yeah. But it can make a heck of a difference in a straight fight.
I can imagine. Especially if you only take a little bit of damage. I'm assuming it also helps you avoid most durability loss, at least for a little while.
I don't know about that one. I haven't had an opportunity to test that, I'll be honest, so I couldn't comment on it. Actually, let me grab all of this and bring it back to base. Right, I'm heading back to base. I'm going to... Oh my lord, bringing all of this out. I'm going to have to do several trips to move this, actually.
If we want to do we want to try and head for that goblin village?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because I'm almost back. And I'm feeling confident that we could probably beat him.
Gotta drop off these plants. Got a bunch of thorns. Now, one of the other things that I realized, it took me a little bit to kind of grasp that this is the way it was going to work. But planting things like thorns and stuff like that is super, super useful, largely because when you plant them, you then harvest them repeatedly. And it's when you're harvesting them repeatedly, you have that small chance of picking up the like gene mod version of it. So like, a twisted thorn or whatever it would be called. So it is really, really good to have lots of those whenever you can and just constantly grab them. So having massive farms of just even trees, because that's where you get hardened branches from, makes a lot of sense. This is a game about just, quantity over quality, really. You want to do everything a lot in order to get the most out of it.
Speaking of quantity, I've got a fair bit of iron now.
Fantastic. You need to make yourself that iron spear.
Yeah. I'd like to make some... Well, no, I got a fair bit of copper, too, so I'll go copper armor. Oh, right. Here. Let's see.
Just dropping off some more iron.
Unequip. There you go. I'm going to grab that horrible worm thing.
Parasitosymbiotic worm. Marvelous. That's going to help enormously.
Hey, I'm going to go drop off that that thing in the ship.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so we go to this. Yes, I think. All right. Oh, okay. So I've unlocked it, but we need the we need parasite or primordium, which I actually do not have on hand.
I've dropped off. We've got 54 in the.
Okay, cool.
In the chest. I dropped off some. I think we already had some, so we've been collecting it. Was there no berries? Oh no, I've got the berries on me. Oh my lord, I'm blind. I hate that. I'm looking around for something, and it's like it's in my inventory. If only I would stop to look. Ah.
It's really tempting to just spend a bunch of these gene points to buy a cosmetic so I look cool.
Hey, fashion sells is the thing, dude.
Yeah?
Very important thing, I'll have you know.
There we go. Perfect.
Actually, my plan.
You don't need armor if you don't get hit.
My chat made a really good observation there that it would make sense to carry around doors at all times, so that
because yeah, enemies don't get through them.
Yeah.
Should we,
encounter something, we can quickly throw down a door or two. Just block the way that you came from.
Yeah, that would make sense. I was gonna say, can we destroy this like weird horror cryo facility
I hope
and
so.
like clear it out for stuff?
But the material there is harder than any tool I've ever made. But I've only made up to iron tools.
Well, maybe at some point we move over to one of the proper teleporters and have a base there instead, where we don't have to see the corpses of our fellow. Oh, it's not inmates.
But yeah, no, I absolutely feel that we need to start looking to build a base of some sort.
Probably right next to a good human town if we can get one. Being able to repair stuff seems like a good idea.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Chat's throwing shade at me for being a Sephiroth clone.
What? Oh, Lord.
I got a long white hair, a long coat.
I mean...
Giant edgy weapon. I mean...
They got a point. You can't say they don't.
I feel harassed.
If the shoe fits, you know, what can I say?
Alright, what's this thing got? Oh. Metal bar plus primordium.
Yep. Basically, you use that to buff weapons and give them, enchants, effectively. For all intents and purposes, enchantments. Have a look.
Oh, it's a metal bar. Okay. I got it. This is cool.
Thing with, like, the different tiers of metals is, in many cases, they don't really add that much. The tools, however, they add a heck of a lot. Also, the armors as well. I'm going to use 6 of the iron bars.
What was that?
I'm just going to use 6 of the iron bars. My copper pickaxe is almost ready to break, so I'm just basically making the replacement now rather than suddenly being like, my pickaxe is gone. I'm back down to a stone pickaxe.
Ooh.
Because I'm not going to lie, that would slowly kill my brain if I had to downgrade to a stone pickaxe after this.
Wait, can I do another round of this?
You can't add to it, but you can try to reroll effectively.
Okay, that's what it is. So I will say, getting an iron weapon is worth it.
Yeah.
It does 17 damage as opposed to 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've effectively doubled my damage by getting this spear.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Oh, I am dangerous now. I like this. I like this a lot.
I'm just hearing sad cat noises, and it does.
We have a
hurt
lot
my
of
heart
interlopers living around our base, and I don't know about you, but I have no mercy for interlopers.
Right. Do you have any more of the primordium left?
I got like 4 in my inventory. We could go get a ton if we went back to one of those villages. Because I left most of them. Ow.
Well, that's why I planted these, so that we could continue to harvest them. Dunk, dunk, dunk. They're not very pretty grasses,
here.
But they're not very pretty grasses.
There's 58 in this chest.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's the stuff I was talking about. Yeah.
There was a stack of 20-something elsewhere.
The primordium doesn't look nice when it grows, but it is so useful. You always want to have some. Ah, damn it. I'm out of money. Okay, what am I going to sell? I want to keep the bones because once we can use those bones, it's going to be great. Oh, the meals, by the way, sell for quite a lot.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Our good friend is hungry. So heading back and dropping off some food. I mean, well, they're a lot for what they are. It's like 25 per. Considering how many we have. There you go. Boink.
Well, considering we have more food than we probably will ever know what to do with.
Yeah, exactly. Me
yeah,
as
we
well.
could probably sell them.
I just sold 20 for 500.
Yep.
That'll do me for a while now. Go down here. Let's pop the spear in. Whomp, whomp. The better the metal, the better the resultant enchantments you'll get.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, wow. That is nice. I just upgraded my iron spear. So, because of my genetics, I do 19 damage.
Yep.
But it now ignores 30% of the target's defense, plus 5% attack, and 10% loot rate improvement.
Oh, I did not have the loot rate. I have gosh, what are mine? 5% attack, 20% ignore target defense, and slower item durability loss. So I think yours is better.
Well, still.
Yeah.
I'll leave the spear as a spare. Actually, we'll use one of the other chests.
I melted my previous one down. I was like, I don't need it.
Well, the thing is, if you die and you drop your gear, it's always good to have just a spare set of weapons and armor, if you can manage to. Just as a backup, like, oh no. The horror, having to go back and get my stuff while punching zombie bears. Or worse. There are much, much worse things in the dark. Right. I am going to just step away from the computer for a second. Just stretch my legs, grab myself another drink. This is a chance for my chat to do the same as well. I highly recommend you guys get up, move around. You know, don't let the fact that we've got gamer bladders stop you from using yours. And I will be right back.